You can tell that it's a preseason game because of the way that it is. The Avs win over the Vegas Golden Knights 3-1 in preseason game number 2.
Arturi Lehkonen! Colorado has won the Stanley Cup!
All right, look, this is a preseason game. Neither team had a bunch of NHLers on it, so there's not a ton to talk about on a team level here. And honestly, the game itself was a little all over the place with 14 different penalties called in the game, so even the on-ice product is a bit spotty, to say the least. However, there are a couple of specific standout players to talk about, and then some highlights to break down. For the Avs, on the player side, at the top is Bowen Byram. He just looks completely beyond this. He looks ready to not only get into the regular season, but to be a star for the Avalanche defense. Both ends of the ice in this game, he kind of just did whatever he wanted. And while Byram was probably the best player in this game, the most encouraging player, I think, was Georgiev. A total question mark coming into the season for the Avs net. His first 30 minutes of play, even if it is against preseason competition, looked very, very good. Gave up just one goal in the game, and it was on a shot that was pretty much unstoppable and made a couple of big saves outside of that. He really looked solid in the Avs net, even with the defense in front of him being not really NHL caliber. It was also your first look at game action for Evan Rodriguez in an Avs jersey, which was solid for the most part. He pretty much is as billed so far. And you had some nice moments from the prospects, including a goal from Alex Beaucage. Not a ton happened in the first two periods of this game, especially for the Avs. There were some good opportunities from them, but it was a team of guys who hadn't really played together and certainly not on the lines and pairings that were put together in this game. So a lot of things just didn't quite connect or didn't quite get finished, or they were just a little bit off here and there. Good opportunities are great, but finishing is also important. An extremely heavy use of special teams on both sides as well. It felt a little bit weird because this game never really got any rhythm to it. Vegas would score the only goal of the first 40 minutes of this game near the end of the first period on their own power play. So Vegas is working the puck in deep on the power play here, going in behind the Avs net. And initially, this is quality defense from the Avs. You see Bowen jumps on the puck carrier, McDermott is with the other man down deep, and the Avs forwards are splitting their sides of the ice. From there, the puck gets worked in the corner, and Byram does get caught behind the puck carrier a little bit here, finds himself a little bit out of position, and this is where you get enough of a miscommunication that it becomes a problem. Both McDermott and Compher think it's their job to take the far man, and that leaves the man directly in front as an option here. So Cotter is left entirely alone and is inside of the hash marks ultimately when he gets this puck, firing it from an extremely dangerous area because of that miscommunication. McDermott expected either Byram to cover the passing lane or one of the forwards to come down and help, and completely abandoned his post as Compher also went to his side of the ice to cover the extra man. Someone's always going to be open on the power play, but it really shouldn't be this guy. And this is a great shot from Cotter. Georgiev does get caught a little bit deep in his net, but it's hard to fault him because this shot goes posting in. Look, it's preseason, and this is not your NHL roster. Not going to nitpick that one too much. Obviously, you need to defend better there, but that's a great shot. Moving on. Honestly, the second period of this game felt almost entirely irrelevant. It was as preseason as you can get, and just nothing really happened. Maybe a few decent opportunities either way that were fairly easily turned away by the goaltenders. It was just not an interesting period of hockey. There was not a ton to gain out of that period other than stop taking penalties. Don't do that. And then the third period, the Avs kind of finally found their groove. I don't know if it was guys just clicking together finally and figuring it out, or if they turned up the heat or whatever. Either way, it worked. After going 0 for 6 on the power play to that point, I guess seventh time is the charm. If you couldn't see the numbers and I told you this was Mikko, Kale, and McKinnon, it probably would look about the same. But instead, it's Jean-Luc Foudy, Jacob McDonald, and Alex Beaucage. The Avs running their standard power play, working out on the perimeter, and you'll notice with their setup, McDonald pulling to the far side. Vegas gets shaded pretty heavily to the far side, and they have a big gap between their defenseman and forward on the near side, opening up a ton of room for Beaucage to work out of. They continue to extrapolate on this as they just keep dragging Vegas to the far side by holding the puck over there. A nice job by Foudy to be patient and drag people as far as he possibly can before getting it back to McDonald. All of a sudden, Vegas is dragged deep and to that far side, and there's just way too much room here. McDonald, a great job pulling the shot to get both forwards to commit, and now Bocage has cheated all the way down into the circle so he can really set up for this one-timer, which he absolutely blasts to get the Avs on the board. Fun goal, a pretty classic Avs setup with a bunch of names that you have not really seen do that on the power play. So it was nice to see those guys fitting into the Avs systems, and great to see Bocage show off his best weapon with that bomb of a shot. That got the game back to tied, and you really started to see the Avs control the game from there. They stopped taking penalties, they started managing the play at 5-on-5 and really pushing it. Even with a mostly AHL lineup, it's very clear. The Avs are going to be faster than you, they're going to outskate you, and they're going to skate you into the ground. That's who they are. That ability leads to more power play opportunities because of the preseason and the refs are calling literally everything. And at the end of the day, the NHLers on these rosters are kind of just better than most everyone else, and the Avs guys stepped up. Just a simple dump in to start on the power play for the Avs here, but you see they get in super aggressively. 2 guys deep, both Compher and then Cogliano coming here along the wall. They have the numbers advantage. They're able to win the puck. And right here, Erod comes in as well, and the Avs are set up. They're good here. They could go to their standard power play if they wanted to. But Erod opts to play aggressive. He cuts into the space given to him and tries to throw the puck to the net, knowing he has his forward numbers down in this corner coming towards the net. It doesn't connect, and it ends up bouncing to the corner as the video glitches out. But from there, the Avs are able to retain possession. Again, the numbers advantage. It just makes it so much easier for them to win pucks in that area, and they continue to be aggressive. As it comes back to Erod, he gets the man to commit to him and drops it to Compher, and suddenly look at all of this space Compher has to work with because Vegas had set up in their normal power play, expecting the Avs to get set up and calm things down. Instead, they stay aggressive, and Compher gets all the room in the world to work with. Now, to be fair, Vegas isn't aggressively trying to chase him here because this really isn't that dangerous of an area of the ice. But Patera has gone down early. He's not a huge goaltender, so as soon as his head moves, just enough space opens up. There's not a ton there. But JT Compher is an NHL hockey player, and you give an NHL hockey player 6 inches to put a puck into, they can do it, and that's exactly what he does. That's the version of JT Compher that the Avs need if they want to defend this Stanley Cup. The game pretty much got locked down from there. The Avs did have to kill one more penalty, which they did fairly easily, and then Bowen Byram dumps it into the empty net to get you your 3-1 final. It's fun that hockey is back. It's fun that the Avs won this game. They did lose their other game today. It was a split squad one. The other one wasn't on TV, though, so we're just going to ignore that one and say the Avs won the one that counted. There is more preseason action coming, but I'm going to be honest, I really hope the lineups look a little bit better than this. I would like a little bit higher level of quality. That is the end of this preseason game video review. Thank you for watching. Head on over to thednvr.com for all of our coverage. I am Rudo, and preseason is something else.
Avalanche time, come on, grab your friends. We're going to the playoffs again with Nate the dog and Gabe the big. The fun is